Hi, how's it going? My name's Don and welcome to my channel. This channel is going to be automotive focused. A lot of grassroots motorsports community things, so show car stuff, as well as builds. I love builds. Builds are what really draws me into any automotive community. I enjoy looking at what people have built and also talking to them about how they got to that point. I feel like it's an excellent way for people like myself to express ourselves and really show some of our skills and ideas. I struggle myself with anxiety, so being able to talk to people about my builds and show people them kind of gets it out of my head and allows me kind of a release. So hopefully me being able to do that might inspire some of you to do that and help, because I know my struggles sometimes get overwhelming. So I never want to see anybody else struggle like I do. Let me tell you a little bit about myself though. So I have always been a gearhead. My dad built cars and bikes as I was growing up, and I've always stood there and watched and tried to help as much as I could. When I was 16, I bought my first Honda Civic and started modifying it from there. I've really always been like kind of an attention to detail person. So I got into the show scene right away, and from there got into like European car stuff and did the air ride stance thing, but it really wasn't for me. I didn't like the community. About 5 years ago, a good friend of mine finally talked me into buying a Miata and going to a track day, and I instantly was hooked. It wasn't necessarily the driving that got me hooked. I love driving on track, it's fun, but the community is really what got me hooked. I can't explain it until you actually go to one, but the people are so friendly and just so open and accepting of new people. It's unbelievable. It's almost unreal. So that's really what drew me. They're like my second family. A lot of people I've met through there, I'm closer to than my family. So that's really what drew me into the whole grassroots motorsports thing. So from there, I raced with an organization called NASA in a group called Honda Challenge. It's pretty much any Honda lover's ideal situation. You race all Hondas. The Midwest just didn't have the car count that other regions did. So naturally, I raced it for a little while and just kind of lost interest because I was literally racing myself some weekends or one other person. So I took about a year off and kind of did some other things. And recently, a group that I've always been kind of part of and done track days with, volunteered and helped out, started their own wheel-to-wheel racing group. The organization's called Grid Life, and I highly recommend you, if you don't know who they are right now, to Google and look them up. They are an automotive festival, and that means that they have a little bit of everything for everyone. So if you're into anything automotive, it's by far in your best interest to go to one of their events. It's unlike anything I've ever seen before in my life. So instantly, with their wheel-to-wheel racing group called Grid Life Touring Cup, they drew in a huge crowd. So we're talking 30 car fields. And if you're into any type of grassroots motorsports with any organization, 30 car fields is almost unheard of. And Grid Life instantly had that. And it's solid racing. I've never seen a group of guys race so close and so clean before. And then at the end of the race, jump out and hug each other, high five. Like, the camaraderie is unbelievable. You never see somebody mad, really. I mean, unless they're frustrated because their car broke, but the racing is just so great. That's really what drew me into this series, was the car counts and the just super solid, clean racing. So I ended up buying a new chassis to fit into this class. The class is a power to weight class. So that means that you can really run anything you want. There's guys that run C5 Corvettes all the way down to Miatas. And the rule book isn't crazy. You kind of build what you want. You just have to fit into some certain regulations for displacement, tires, but you really can do as you please, which I really like as a builder, because you're not limited to to a rule book to be able to express yourself. So from there, I'm going to explain to you guys my builds and kind of the ideas I have for them, like an introduction, and I will continue to document the stages of the builds and share those with you guys. I have another Honda build that's kind of like a street car build, and I will share that as well along the way. I'd also like to kind of introduce you guys to different, like if you're not at part of the grassroots motorsports community, I'd like to introduce you to that because I really feel like it kind of pertains to everyone, and you never know, it could be a new passion you have. But I would also like to branch off myself and do some different things. I've always been interested in like drifting and amateur drifting and stuff like that, and kind of the off-road stuff, but I've never really stepped out of my comfort zone and never really knew anyone close that did those things. So I'd like to try those things and maybe document them and bring you guys with me. So maybe, who knows, maybe a couple of us will find a new passion there. So this is the idea of the channel, and hopefully I can continue to get content rolling out and share the things with you guys that I'm interested in. I hope it's not too boring. I hope me talking at you, stuttering sometimes isn't too bad, but that's just, I'm not gonna edit my videos so there's nothing to hide. I find that bad, but from there, let's get rolling and get some content out. Thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully you guys subscribe and we can continue to make some good content. If you have anything you want to share with me, feel free to share it on my social media or here. My Instagram is thejdmdon, and you can message me there or here. I will document some of my builds on there as well, picture-wise. So thanks for listening and watching, and see you guys later.